All right, let's try that again. That was strange. All right, let's loop this again. Uh, anyway, I ain't gonna go through it. I don't know. I've ran this perfectly fine, and there's my echo. All right, let's try. I don't know what was up with that. I ran everything before, and it was perfectly fine. I'm seeing bars everywhere, but then all of a sudden, no audio. Sorry about that. So let's do that again. Let's cut back to this shot. Hey, folks, AJ the CEO. Hey, folks, AJ the CEO here. Thank you so much for stopping by. And every Friday, we try and do a Q&A to try and answer whatever questions that we possibly can about media ministry. I don't know everything, but we do our best to try and answer everything that we possibly can, or at least steer you in a direction. I hope y'all like the new intro. I made that. I have another one I'm playing around with. I had different graphics and everything, but they just didn't come out the way I wanted to. But thank you so much for stopping by. Brian has already been talking about it. Boy, we got 45 days. I even got my Royal Caribbean Cruise shirt on. It's almost that time, folks. Just let you know. And let's see if did it mess up my image here too. Is it that one? Is it that one? There you go. We have the E-Missionary Cruise. We are 45 days away, folks. I am beyond excited, and I don't know why that stopped like that. And that's not even a Royal Caribbean ship, now that I think about it. But anyway, we're going to be going on the Liberty of the Seas, April 24th through the 28th. Really excited about that. If you are a part of... Come on now. Hold on. Stuff froze up on me. It is one of those days. Anyway, if you are going on a cruise, please look at the Facebook group where the event is. I got an email about them reserving a table for us for dinner for all of us to sit in the vicinity. If you're not interested in that, please let me know, because I have to submit that in about 7 days. So this time next week, I need to submit that. Again, this isn't going to be this cruise where we just sitting down talking about media ministry. No, it's meant to relax. We might hang out and stuff like that. You might see me at karaoke. You might see me at the sushi bar or the hibachi or on the beach. Hey, that's what it's about. But I would like to at least catch up and see everybody if you would like. And just to let you know, we do have shirts. There's our E-Missionary Cruise shirt that is available on my website, AJaytheCEO.com. Go ahead and get that so that you have enough time to get it there. And really appreciate all of that. And what else am I forgetting? If I don't get to your question, folks, know that you can email me at questions@ajhomes.com, and we'll do our best to get back to you within 48 to 72 hours. And that Facebook group, if you are not a part of it, you can go to look it up at facebook.com, look up Modern Media Ministry Made Easy, or go to bit.ly/MMMEFB, and that will take you directly to it. What else am I missing? If you ever need some more help with your media ministry, know that you can go to ajhomes.com/consultations. Now, a little PSA at the beginning. I love trying to help y'all. I really do. But again, thankfully, because of the amount of people that we're having, I cannot call you directly. I've had people send me messages like on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram saying, hey, give me a call. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. I can't do that. So please go through the funnel, because again, I need my stuff to be organized. I get tons and tons of emails and messages every day, and that's the funnel to keep everything organized. So it's not that I'm ignoring you to be mean. I'm ignoring you because I need to stay organized. Anyway, we've been hollering at some folks here through the group who is everybody online. So thank you so much. Everybody saying audio is good. And I'm trying to cut back from, saying hello to everybody. I'm trying to do that in the chat so that we can keep rolling, so I can catch up with the comments there. So if you don't mind, before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you haven't, because if you're wondering why you can't leave a message, you need to be subscribed on these live streams to leave messages. That funnels out all the nonsense and the hoopla that be going on. So anyway, Francisco, Parker, Lamar, TT, Jay Santiago, Streets of Destiny, Philip Paul, Domi, Rhonda, Brian, Kenny, Cares of the Covenant, Mike, Rhonda, live broadcast, Norm, Nigel, hello. Thank you so much for stopping by. John Cook, hello. And am I missing anybody? Philando, direct. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. For Portugal. Awesome. Thank you for so much. And we got somebody else from, I don't even want to try and pronounce your name because I'm going to mess it up, from Nigeria. Thanks so much. KCMI 89. Thank you. Let's jump right into y'all's questions, folks. And let me know, please, if we're having any issues from the web presenter. It's been acting up, and I've been using my streaming system to stream. I'm going back to the web presenter, but at a press of a button, I can switch back to vMix streaming. Just let me know if you're seeing any lag or anything like that. All righty, let's see. Cares of the Covenant wants to know, good morning, AJ and family. Is this still your number one recommended camcorder after 2 years, the Panasonic Full HD video camera HCV 770? Out of the ones I've used, yes. The man, what in the world? Getting choked up. Hold on a second. Got my stuff on standby. Let's actually take a look, because it used to be the Canon R800 for a good entry-level camera, but they've sunset that one. So let's see. Let's just go shopping and let's see. Ooh, an 8K. Let's see how much that costs. I know we just, wait, and that's without the lens, the mount, nothing. Anyway, let's go over here to camcorders. And actually, those are professional ones. We don't need that. Let's look at camcorders. Why am I clicking on all the wrong stuff today? All right, and let's go ahead. And now, again, I know that pricing is subjective, so I understand some stuff is this, some stuff, and that's all prosumer stuff. Let me not go there. Let's go to the old Best Buy that's going out of business. I'm calling it. But they have some crazy deals right now, which I think is really awesome if you are looking for something. They have like a graphics card I need to go pick up that's for like $180. Great for streaming. All right, so that is the updated version of the V770. That's 468. That is 1080p. That works fine. Now, if you really, really want to go low in price, you can go with the handy cams. That's what I started with. Those are the same cameras I use in the conference room at church when we do Bible study online, and they go for like 220, 230. Um, so out of what's available, there's the V770, but then this is the newer model, the V7885. I would go with that one. I would still say if you're looking for a camcorder, yes, that would still be my suggestion for a best bang for buck. So hopefully that helps. Yeah. Let's see here. Page number 2. Brian, I know this isn't. I just got a message saying YouTube is not receiving enough video, but the web presenter is fine. Let me know if y'all are seeing anything. Brian, it's not media ministry related, but Brian wants to know, what excursions would you recommend? So again, I'm trying to upsell this. I don't get anything from Royal Caribbean when I do this, folks. I'm just looking forward to doing something like this again next year. Hopefully we'll get some more people available. So let's actually just take a little jaunt over here. This is after I've logged in, and it just shows some of the excursions that are available. And we'll go to Perfect Day, Coco Cay, their private island. They have a water park on the island, a beach club. Some of the stuff, honestly, is really expensive. The Cabana full day pass, that's like a private area for you. No. Or this one, over the water Cabana. That's per person. I'm like, that's more than the cruise. I've done the zip lining. That was really fun. Me and Sonia did that. I took her there. I've never done swimming with the pigs. Me and my friend Maya, we did the up in the air balloon, which was fun. Now, you don't have to pay for anything to be on the beach. The seats, the towels, all that other stuff. The food is completely free. If you want to get your scuba license, you can get certified there. There's a glass bottom boat. We were going to do that. That actually got canceled on us because there wasn't enough people. Snorkeling, kayaking, you can rent a mat for all day. I've done jet skiing. You can be just a rider or the driver. This was a full day beach rental that's blocked out, and everything else is sorted out from there. Now at Nassau, I've done a lot of stuff there, which is kind of cool. You could go to the Atlantis and get access to that if you wanted to. There's a private beach that you can go snorkel at. You can take a tour on a Segway, adults only beach day. I've done the Nassau highlights. I walked past the dolphin, swim with the dolphins. That was cool. That's the Atlantis again. The Funky Beach Adventure. I think we were going to do that, and that got canceled. Not enough people. Private beach, island club, sightseeing, tours. Me and Sonia also did a walking tour that was here. That was really good. The flavors of Nassau, the food was outstanding. Like, I don't like grits, but they had some type of grits, and that my friend Maya was like, AJ, if you can get some and bring some back, please. It was that good. They have the pirate ship that you can take to, or they just be blasting music. It's like a party boat. Swimming with the sea lions. I mean, really cool. And then there's some other stuff. And going back to Fort Lauderdale, it's a few things. So you can do the Everglades airboat and stuff like that. So really cool. Those are some of the things I've done. I'm going to try and work on doing some other stuff. On the ship, you have stuff. I'm actually getting a massage there in the spa on the first day, so I'm excited about that. Let's see. What else we got going on? Live broadcast. I answered this, but it wants to know this, that ATEM 1ME have super source. If you're talking about the original one, no. The newer ones, yes, they do. TT here would like to know, I am using OBS with the Famako camera, 2 of them. One is hooked up. Do you have a video showing us how to set up to view the sanctuary on another monitor in a different area of the church? Yes, I do, but my question is to understand your layout. So you have one camera going directly into OBS. Is the other camera going into OBS too, or did you want this camera just to feed to another TV? Hold on one second. Man, UPS scared me. that was that was my meds being delivered from the VA. So let me know the details of that, TT, and we can go through explain that a little bit better. Man, I'm getting a lot of interruptions today. Mike, looking for a cheap overhead camera solution for when our children's lease does object lessons at the front of the church. I mean, I would say, depending on Mike, we've done a bunch of them. The Makos is still under $100. If you have an SDI one, it can go. They do have an HDMI version. Either one of those will work. Fiber optic HDMI cable to get it there, or a SDI and then convert it back with one of these SDI to HDMI. That'll get you good to go. Now, do you need it just to be a static shot, or you need it to be a variable and move? That would be the only limitation I would change my suggestion on. Norm, good morning, everyone. We finally ordered the streaming equipment this week. The motherboard is not due to arrive until April 4th. Ooh, Lord. So much benefit for saving $5. Hey, I understand. I've changed orders because of stuff. Like I have a humongous order for about like 4 clients that are all coming in at the same time. And I do Amazon home delivery, so it delivers inside of my garage to keep it safe compared to how it was when I was in the apartment, which I love. But I'll have it that they're delivering almost every day, and then it's like a monitor will be like, oh, it's 2 weeks from now. Nah, we're going to cancel that. Then we'll switch out to something else so it's around the same time. Back to Mike on his question, maybe a cheap PTZ for versatility. Now, Mike, the PTZ that I have right here, that's a SMT AV10X that came in at around like $400. But honestly, the most recent ones, AV cams ones that I've reviewed that are 20X will get you around that same price. So you could just get a 20X for that $450 price range and you'll be good to go. Either one of those will work. Nigel wants to know, what's the name of the church I want to follow? It is Signs and Wonders Ministries. That is where I am currently at. And that is right here. That's where we're at. So I will put a link there. Now, again, I am actually not there for 2 more weeks because I'm out and about doing other stuff with other ministries and things like that. I'm heading out this afternoon to do some other stuff. Then got some stuff Saturday. And we just got confirmed we're going to be in Pennsylvania, then Queens, New York, and then I'm waiting to hear we're supposed to be out in Wisconsin to help out some other ministries, and back in North Carolina, another one in South Carolina. So we're all up and down the place, folks. So that's why I'm looking to get the massage, because I need to relax and stuff like that. I enjoy what I'm doing, but I need to learn to take some time to pause. But hopefully I'm catching up to where the sound is better. Live Broadcast wants to know why sometimes vMix has a delay in sound. How can you solve that? It's a couple of things that could be with that. If you're getting that, make sure that first your system is actually fast enough to run all of that. It could be that the CPU is not being able to process everything. That's why I love having a GPU included with a system that's running vMix, because you can offload all that stuff to the GPU, so it's not hitting the CPU at all. Another thing is, how are your cameras being routed into your system? Are you going through some type of capture card? Are you using NDI? Are you using RTSP? Because that's going to take time. So depending, especially if you're sending video over the network, that is not guaranteed to be the exact same way every single day. It can change. That's why I personally don't do that. I always have a straight video connection because it's guaranteed to be in sync every single time. But I need some more details so I can help you with that. But that's what I'm thinking. Bruce, good morning. We answered that. Domi. Church live stream with yellow box ATEM and analog mixer. How can we separately control the in-house mix from the live stream mix? Well, it depends on your analog mixer. We've done this in a couple of other videos. Most mixers have a aux, a mix bus. It calls it different things, but you have different environments that you can do. So let me turn on my X32 and I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. I have the same thing set up at my home church, but I just don't have enough people yet to run the in-house and the online sound separately. So that's why I personally don't have mine separated. And show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on, my audio just went out. I have the same thing set up at my home church, but I just don't have enough people yet to run. I'm trying to catch up. My audio just literally just went out. No. Okay. I think I turned on my X32. Hopefully y'all can still hear me. Show you exactly what I'm talking about. Hold on, my audio just went out. I have the same thing set up at my home church. Okay. I can still hear it. So let me turn that off because that was messing me up. All right. So if we cut over here on the X32, so we can have different environments. Yes, I know it's disconnected. You can have different environments. So right now, this is my main, and then this is my live stream, and these are treated differently. It's like an aux. So if you have an analog board, typically they have one that you can do that. So like you would have a mixed bus for the pulpit or the musicians or something like that. You would route with knobs. And actually, let me see if I can find a picture of a board, and I can actually give you an example exactly what I am talking about. Mixers, analog mixers. And it doesn't need to be anything fancy, but I want to make sure it actually has something. All right, so let's see. Can I get a picture? Top. All right, so here on this board, this is an analog board, and let's zoom out a little bit. So in here, this is your main out that the master volume down here would be handling, but you also have different monitor outs. Those returns. Am I looking at the wrong one? Let me get a different board. Don't you just love it when you're not prepared for questions? Let me get a bigger board that has the outs that I'm looking for. Come on there, Behringer. Y'all tripping on me. Man, I'm gonna have to come back. But anyway, let's just go with this one. So on the back here, you can have all these outs. So normally 7 and 8 are your main outs, but you can address any of these other ones, and you can have them be aux out, a send, a mix. It's called different things. But on the board, it will tell you, hey, I want to have a little knob to say, this is how much of this channel I want to send to aux 1, aux 2, aux 3, mix 1, mix 2, whatever terminology that they name it. And then those little knobs, or like here with a digital board, now that I'm on the live stream mix, all of these adjustments are just for the live stream compared to me going to main, and this is for the house. I hope that makes sense. And again, I wasn't really prepared for that. Some of the pictures I normally would have, I would be able to do it, or I could do it with my board, but I think I'm still connected to my computer and my audio just dropped out. So I don't want to do that and have another audio issue. But Let me know. I do have a video where I've talked about that. So I'm going to see if I can find that while we're talking. Hopefully I can get your answer to that. So my apologies for that one. Emmy, hello. Francis. Hey, AJ, hope you are well. I wanted to ask if you could make a video on Google Workspace and how we can use it to streamline our media ministries. Thank you. I've actually kind of done something like that, especially at Signs and Wonders. We actually have that. Well, actually, let me take that back. We have our email through them. Well, actually, we should probably have that now that I think about it. I know I use Workspace for AJHomes.com as well as my business and other stuff like that. So yeah, I'll work on something like that to help you out. It does really help out. And if I had known that about that when I was at Antioch, I would have gone in that direction instead of using Zoho, even though Zoho does the same thing and it's free when I got it with them. But yes, I would do that. John got some suggestions. John is also going on a cruise. If they still have a tour available, I did one of my first and only cruise so far on Coco Cay. It was a Stingray City or something like that. They take you on a short boat ride. Hey, I must admit, I went swimming out there and I got video of a Stingray, which was really cool last time I went. Let's see. Brandon. Has anyone even had an issue with the A10 Mini Pro having a black screen on input 4? It was working and then it just stopped. Yeah, some people have had that, Brandon. It's for some reason, some people have had an issue where the HDMI port itself has unsoldered itself from the motherboard. I don't think that's it. But are you saying that no matter what you plug in, you're getting a black screen? Let me know. If that, you might have to do an RMA on it if possible. Let me hear. What's the best workflow for the new ATEM Studio graphics wise? Lower thirds, stingers, countdown, etc. by After Effects. Me personally, I use After Effects with my stuff for the most part, and it all depends. Me personally, I haven't done this as much as I really want to. In my workflow, I have the Hyperdeck shuttle. I could load up all my graphics in there and send it, and it's like an input, and I can use everything through a DSK that way if I wanted to. That would make it very easy. In that workflow, I do the same thing, but I just play my stinger, my stingers, my countdowns, and everything. That's going through my presentation software because that's what I'm using to present everything. That's how I typically do it at the churches I set up so that it's not, hey, go to the ATEM to do this, but then go here to do this one, but then go here to do that. I like a very simplified, streamlined approach. If it's audio, it's always with the audio mixer that I have. Just like in my scenario, I have the ATEM over here. I have my Rodecaster here. All of my audio is going here. My computer is going into here, everything, so that I'm not adjusting anything. The only thing on the ATEM is turn on audio and it just comes through. So I don't touch nothing with the ATEM when it comes to audio. I only touch the ATEM when it comes to graphics and video inputs. And that's just my workflow. So for everything that you mentioned, I normally would have a presentation system linked to it to run it. Now, when I was doing football games and I didn't have all the extra computers and stuff like that, I just had OBS simulate what my presentation software would be, and that's what played everything. So again, that's my workflow. But again, if anybody else has done anything other than that, I'd love for y'all to share that because again, this is the environment for us to learn from each other on how a lot of stuff is done. Rhonda, I have the V770 and also have the 170 as a low-level spare. Target had a good price when I bought it. Awesome. Streets of Destiny, could you explain how a pen spotlight works in Zoom? I recorded in Zoom using pen, but the video did not show. It showed visually, just not in recording. Yeah, when you do pen in Zoom, it's just pretty much meaning that this person is the priority of what everybody else is gonna, well, actually, pen is just for you. Now, if you want to spotlight somebody, spotlighting is you're making this person that's in the Zoom be featured for everyone. That's what everybody sees. Pin is just an individual thing. Spotlight is for everybody that you're watching. So hopefully that makes sense for you. My Daily Way Ministry. Hi, AJ. We're trying to video stream daily Bible study from home, and we do this on a Zoom meeting. The screen speaker is very small, all the way up in the corner. I can't split the screen 50 speaker, 50 screen showing the Bible. What is your recommendation to solve this problem while keeping the platform on Zoom? Well, what I would do, you can still use Zoom, but I would make those modifications in OBS and let OBS send to Zoom. That's what I would do. So, like, for example, let me open up here and let's see if we can do a simulation of all this stuff. So I'm going to start a new meeting and let's open up OBS and let's get over here. All right. So in my setup, come on now. So in my setup here, and I don't know why OBS is tripping on me. Come on, close. Like my whole computer is like not responding. Actually, no, just OBS is not responding. That was crazy. Anyway, so I would have my stuff in here, and I need another camera so that I can do this properly. What can I use? What can I use? Can I use? I'm trying to think what camera I can use because I don't have another camera on me to do this. So anyway, let's do this. So what I would do is have a desktop capture, your display capture, or your program capture. So say, let's bring up, let's open up Bible Gateway. This will just simulate your scripture or whatever that you got, right? And let's just do James 1. Say I have this up, and this is what I want to use side by side. All right. So what I can do is have this off screen or somewhere, and then I want to do a window capture. And I want to capture this. So here's my half screen right there. And I'm trying to find my webcam. Y'all catch me off guard. Hold on, let me grab. What did I get? Got my. I can use my camera. Hold on. All right, so let's see if we can throw this together to help y'all out. I'm telling you, man, this is fun. It's like just to try and do stuff like this live is always very interesting, to say the least. So let me get my camera set up so that I can use it as a webcam. USB streaming. Yes. Now I need to connect this to my computer so that it shows up. Whew. All right, so we're connected now. I think you can see me. All right, so I got this camera set up. Let's cut back over here. Now my capture device, I am going to change that to my camera. So there we go. And now we need to reposition this. So this is how I would do this. All right. And of course, my mic is in the way. Let's reposition this over here. So this is how I have this set up. And I need to move this. So now I'm doing this 50-50. All right. So this is, I'm assuming, kind of my interpretation of what you're saying. So now, instead of me doing this, sending audio, and I've done videos on this, we're going to start our virtual camera inside of OBS. Now, if I go back to Zoom, and it's Zoom that's acting up, that's what's giving me an issue. Really, Zoom? All right, so now for my source, I'm going to select the OBS camera. And now, see, this is what everybody sees. This is how I would do that. You can still stay in Zoom, but OBS is going to give you the flexibility to change everything that you want. So in here, I can be off screen. I can sit here and talk. Now, you could do this with PowerPoint, whatever program that you want. But now, see, I can go through here, through Scripture, go through, highlight, do whatever I want. And that's how I would do that. So hopefully that helps. I do have a video talking about how to send OBS to Zoom, but this is how I would do that based off of what you just told me. And let me stop Zoom because Zoom is acting up something bad. It's locking up my computer, which is very strange. Hopefully that helps. Let me get my camera out of the way so I can see y'all. Oh, whew. And I see that you, My Daily Way Ministry, you have a follow-up. Let me answer this one, and we'll get to that one as well. Lamar, hey, AJ, have you set up Dante Network, and are the Ubiquity switches compatible with it? No, I have not. Otis has, and I think Otis has Ubiquity stuff. I would send him a message or ask that question in the Facebook group for that, but I personally have not. Back to TT, her question was, that camera is just the feed. It's for Facebook Live. I cannot connect the second camera. Well, it's a couple of ways you could do that. You could, instead of sending the camera feed, I mean, all you would need to do is connect that camera and go route it down to the TV or whichever way. But if you're trying to feed that into another TV, you could just have OBS full screen out, go and see what's going on. So like, for example, and I don't think you're going to be able to see it from some of my shots. But yeah, maybe you can see it from this one. So like right now, this screen that I'm seeing right here, that is vMix outputting to here. So I can see it full screen of what y'all are seeing. That's the same way OBS gives you that same functionality. You can have your computer, if it has two outputs, it could output and you just run that cable to that other TV and that TV shows up as a second monitor. Then OBS is what's sending the signal to all the other TVs. So whatever is going in OBS, if that's what you're using to stream, that's what everybody else could see. That's what I would personally think. If that doesn't work, then all you have to do is just take that camera and disconnect it. You will need to have a physical cable, or you would need to have another computer connected to that TV, and that TV, that laptop is running OBS, and it connects to that other Famaco, and it just full screens out to that. Either it's the same approach, you know, if you're using OBS or direct connection, that would be there. My Daily Way Ministry. What do you think of the YOLO box? I think it's really great. I have I've sampled and tested all of them that they have available, and I think for a unit that is, for a ministry that has limited space, but it has everything encapsulated, and you have a limited amount. Like me, I have 8 inputs. That won't work for me. But when I go to games, do weddings and stuff like that, and I have 2 cameras, the YOLO box works perfect for me. And I don't have to worry about a screen because the screen is built in. I bring my keyboard, so I don't have to use a touch screen. I can use my keyboard and mouse to adjust it. I think it's really great, and it gives you options with sorry, I just had a whole bunch of images just pop up on here, emojis. That's what I would think. I think it really works. Great, depending on your use case for it. So I have 2 of them over here. I use them for when I don't want to bring my ATEM, or if I need a Wi-Fi solution, a mobile solution, or an Ethernet solution. That's the other thing I like. It gives me all those options as well. Thank you, Brandon. Let's see here. I want to ask why my phone video lags. What I did was use a router to set up a network, then connect my phone via Wi-Fi and laptop, OBS, vMix, Wirecast, then use one of those video apps. I mean, I think it's maybe just the video that's being sent from that app is just too much for the bandwidth of what your phone is providing if you're using it as a tether. That's what I'm thinking. What is your upload speed that's being produced if you test from your phone? Or what is it when you have that computer connected to it? What's the upload and download speed you're getting off of your tether? That's what the first thing I would say check out. Kevin, hey AJ, looking at the Blackmagic cameras for shooting documentaries and church announcement segments, are the new 6Ks worth it at this point? I think the newer one, like I'm using a 4K right now. I'm really happy with that. I want to get the 6K, but it's a want, not a need. And I'll be honest, all of my videos on YouTube I do in 4K. It's more of a future proofing. If it's within your budget, I say go for it. Especially just like right now, I would say don't y'all dare buy a 1080p TV because 1080p TVs are about the same price as 4K TVs. For me, the price parity comes to like that, that's when I would make that move. But if you want to future proof it and give you some time, I say go for it. You know, it works well for me. I'm happy with this 4K, that 4K back there. All of my cameras are 4K except for my PTZs because I don't need those for those. But that's what I would think. Brandon, having issues with the ATEM Mini Pro. Yeah, I already responded to that. So I think we're good. Patrick, do you remember the specs of your live stream system at Signs and Wonders bitrate upload resolution encoder? Just looks so crisp. Yeah. And actually, I just added some more memory onto it. So we'll just remote in and let you see it. Most of my systems, I don't do anything different to anybody else. The specs on the system are pretty much the same stuff that I've built for everybody else. So let me log in here real quick, and I'll let you see the specs of... Oh, you said the streaming system. Hold on. I'm logging into the wrong one. Let me make sure I did actually have it right. Yeah, for the streaming system. I got you. All right, so let's log in here. And let's go full screen. I'm going to switch over here so y'all can see. All right, so here's our streaming system. Get out of here. And let's first go to the specs of the system. This system is running a Ryzen 5 5600G, 16 gigs in memory. That's what's in there right now. And I'm trying to think, what GPU do I have in here? I added a GPU because I needed a secondary output. And I need to download the latest software on here. Yeah, actually, no, I'm using the GPU. I'm not using anything different. So that's the 5600G. That's the same stuff that I use for all the other systems I build. And if I go here to our streaming settings, we're at 5,000 kilobits. We're using the AMD encoder, hardware encoder. That's what I'm using for that. Now, from here, in my church, they use Comcast, which I don't really like. But let's do a speed test there. So 300 down, which is always the thing that they tell you about that's so exciting. But your download speed doesn't mean anything. It's all about the upload speed. So Comcast is just so happy-go-lucky. Look at the download speed, but look at my upload. It's a tenth of what it is. So even at 5,000 kilobits, that's 5 megabits per second. That's more than enough. Could I crank it higher? Yeah, I could, but I think like YouTube and the platforms I use, I can't go higher than 10,000. They won't accept that. So can I bump it up? I could. I don't need to, but that's what I have mine set at. All righty. So let me log out of here. I should have downloaded the software. I'll do that here in a second. John. Getting ready to start a 3 PTZ camera update edition in a room at our church. The material is starting to roll in. This should be a fun project. Thanks for all the knowledge over the years. Hey, make sure you post some pictures of it, John, for before and after in the Facebook group, please. How do we do a mix minus in vMix? Well, I don't have that screen up here for me to show you. I don't have the computer logged in so I can show directly, but there's a setting that you will adjust what is being sent to your channel. So I'm doing the same thing right now. Again, I can't show you. It's just that when you say, do you want this to go to your headphones? Do you want it to go to the live stream? You just turn off what's going where. So you're routing it that way. So that gives you the mix minus so that you're not hearing, like right now, I'm hearing this, you're not hearing the echo. And I'm hearing what's going through vMix, but y'all are not hearing that echo. That's just a setting that you do. And I need to go back over that, but I just no way for me to show you right now because of my setup. MA16 says, good morning from the Wendy's drive-thru. Keith, good morning. Thank y'all, everybody, for suggesting the likes and all this other stuff. It does help. And again, I recommend if y'all are streaming on any platform, that make sure in your service you learn the terminology to tell people about that stuff, which is a good segue to a question that I want to ask y'all. I did this on the Facebook group. My question to y'all, let me know. Do y'all have, oh, actually, let me stop this real quick. I want to give a really, really big shout out and kind of like a little bit of sadness that Bishop Alfred Nicholson, he was the second church that trusted me to do an install. He actually passed the other day, and it was really sad, but he was a great guy. And he's actually helped do the install. So Pastor Nicholson, his grandsons, this is Jay Kyle's father. He had passed, so he'll be greatly missed. That just made me come up because I was going to Facebook to show something, but that's what came up. But be in prayer for the Gates of Faith family, ministry family, as they're going through this. So it's interesting. But anyway, let's go back over here. And my question is I posted on the Facebook group, and I want to go here and ask y'all, does your ministry have a mission statement? And this is why I asked, because again, you don't know where you're going if you don't have a destination set. So for me, this is what I want to share with y'all. And I want to know, do y'all have something? And if you don't, I would highly recommend that you actually have something. This helps steer your direction of your ministry and all the activities. Or are we just doing activities, or what's the purpose of what we're doing? So my role, my media ministry mission is, the media ministry's role is to capture, communicate, distribute, and present God's word in service of God, the pastor, congregation, sick and shut in the community at large. We use to the best of our abilities The technology readily available to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ in the form of various physical and digital mediums. We strive to enhance the worship experience in a clear, accurate, and comprehensible way that is transparent and distraction free to the people in person, online, or those watching at a later time. We also work to equip other ministries in this church to use these mediums as a worship and outreach tool, partnering with them to reach further than they could on their own. Through these mediums, this ministry strives to invite people to learn of God's love and develop a deeper walk with Him. That is the focus of everything that's being done. So now when I'm talking about like, hey, why is your audio not right? You need to work on the audio. It needs to be clearer. Why? Because we want to have people to have a worship experience in a clear, accurate, and comprehensible way. And it's distraction free, because if your audio is bad, that's causing a distraction. Why do we need to get better cameras? Because now the stuff is available, because it allows us to take advantage of the technology that is readily available. There isn't that we just buying stuff willy-nilly. There's a purpose behind everything that we're doing. And this just gives an excerpt of the book that we're still working on, and that's the highlight of what I just said. And it goes into the very first chapter of the book is talking about establishing your standard. And it's talking about when starting a media ministry, it is vital for you to establish the standard, not a standard, but the standard. And what's the difference? A and the, in my mind, A means that there are multiple ways of doing it. This opens the door to different forms. So again, if we say a standard in how we do our media ministry, now it's all out of focus. Everybody can go whatever way they want to. In their minds, they're thinking, hey, it's going to bring it together, but it's about a team. So we just establish the standard so that everybody knows whatever activity is aligned this way, that is shared across the board for everybody. But I say all that to say, do y'all have something like that? What is your ministry's mission statement? If you have one. If you don't, I highly recommend that you develop one. And if you're on the Facebook group, that is linked there, that you can see that. And then we are quickly trying to finish up the book so we can get it out, because it is 2 years late. And again, my apologies. We're working on that. Back to Brandon with the input number 4 being a problem. He said he did it in the past and it just started working again. What I would do, Brandon, try and do a factory reset. If you're still having a problem with it, try and update to the latest firmware, see if that works. If it doesn't, I would put in an RMA request for that one. Bert, I'm possibly moving away from Switcher Studio and moving to the A10 Mini Pro. Is there a way to use Mix, OBS, etc.? Is there a need to use, I'm wondering, you're talking vMix, OBS, etc. I will also be moving from Proclaim to PP7. Your thoughts? You don't need to. It's just, like, again, me doing this right now, I don't need to. When I originally was doing this stuff, I was streaming directly from the A10. Well, actually, it was OBS. Then I went to the A10. The only reason I'm using this because it gives me other stuff to use in my production flow. Again, we talked about it. It's just developing your workflow. If you go with the A10, just realize if you're broadcasting inside the house, whatever you're streaming is going to also show inside the house. And with the A10 Mini Pro, you're going to have the multi-view or the program out. If you're using a program out so you can see everything, you obviously could not be connected to displays inside the sanctuary, because I don't know why anybody in the sanctuary will want to see the multi-view. But long story short, no, you don't need that. I add OBS and vMix, like right now. I use vMix to add these nice little graphics there because vMix allows me to do that, and it makes it very streamlined. If I wasn't doing anything like that, the beginning part of what we did at Signs and Wonders, we streamed everything from the A10. So it's up to you. Over time, you may see the needs of it. Other times, other people don't. Do you need it? No. Necessity will take you in that direction if you want to. So hopefully that helps. Rhonda, I have periodic issues with the A10 Mini Pro video not showing. I often have to create a new video source to get it to work. My biggest frustration with the ATEM. Now, you said a new video source. Are you connecting the ATEM to something else, and that's what's causing it? Or are you saying the ATEM itself is causing the issue? Because I know OBS would do that sometimes, where you have to disconnect it and make a new source and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering, are you linking it to something else? And I was just thinking about that when you said you're doing a new audio source. You know who I am? Good morning. Can you send me the link of how to use OBS to run animated lower thirds in the ATEM? Let me see. I think the good thing is at this point, I don't even go to YouTube no more. I can actually just search for AJ the CEO and animate it, and this is what came up. So that just shows you once you start building your digital footprint, folks, I mean, if you link your stuff properly, the idea is, yeah, people can find you on YouTube, but then you want search to be able to find you in multiple ways as well. And let me see. I find a lot of fun people out here taking some of the videos that I use and put it up on their stuff. Yeah, somebody was sampling a whole bunch of other people's stuff and putting it like it's theirs. But anyway, that video is this one, and I will put a link to that in the chat. All righty. Back to John. Have you played around with the beta CMP software for the PTZ optics to add software? No, I have not. I have not. Actually, the PTZ optics camera that I have is at Antioch, so I don't have access to that. I mean, technically, I do. I can log into it, but I don't want people to. I don't want to scare people and be like, "How do you still have access here?" Because I set it up, I have remote access, but I don't want to do. But no, I have not. Back to Domi. What is the name of the video you're referencing to separate live stream? I will find that there for you. All right, that video. I almost knocked over my drink here. That would be this one. How to make a separate audio mix for your live stream. I will put that there for you. Separate audio mix. And there it is in the chat. Hopefully that helps ya. Nathan. Hey, AJ, which free Bible software would you recommend for scriptures and lower thirds? If you're using OBS, I would do the free Bible plugin. That's one that I would use if you were using OBS. If you want in presentation software, I would do Worship Tools Presenter. That's free. That can do all that stuff. Plus. Michael, hello. I don't want to say your name because YouTube might get after me for it, but hello, good morning as well. Back to my daily way ministry. Do you recommend OBS or the YOLO? Well, it all depends. It's your usability. OBS will require a computer. The OBS will require a computer that's capable of doing having the resources to run it. The YOLO is actually encapsulated and will do everything itself. The YOLO box, depending on which one, can go up to, I think, 4 inputs. So you have your computer, 2 cameras, whatever. If you need more than that, I mean, again, OBS is just your software. So you're still going to have to need some type of capture device to bring in everything else. It's more from a usability standpoint. OBS is more flexible personally than the YOLO box. But again, the YOLO box, if you develop your workflow, that is more than enough to do what you need. It's all your preference on what you got. Um, this is the images that the emojis or whatever you want to call it popped up to kind of mess me up. I have a Mac running OBS. It's lagging a lot and breaks. Only recording, not live streaming the service. Any suggestions? What Mac are you running? That comes off to me that the Mac is underpowered and it can't handle what you're sending it. That's what I'm thinking, especially if you're not live streaming. If you're only recording, either your drive is not fast enough, the encoder that you're using is not fast enough. And I do have my Mac here. I don't have a way to bring it up right now, but that's what I would think with that. Actually, don't I have my Mac on remote? Actually, I do. Thank you so much, William, for becoming a member. Man, the Mac is super slow with Chrome Remote Desktop. I'm gonna let y'all see because I was gonna remote in, but this thing is like funky. How slow it is. Oh, see, now it's sped up. It won't respond to me clicking to try and log in. Yeah, see, like the other screen ain't even moving, so I can't remote into it. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm gonna actually gut everything in here and redo everything in here so that I can do my wiring better and stuff like that. But we'll get to that. But that's what I'm thinking. If you're having those issues, typically anytime, I mean, I would probably say 95% of the time, if your stuff is lagging, it's typically because the settings are too high or the computer that's being paired with it to run the task at hand just can't handle it. And I think I did a video before where I had like a 2-core Celeron and I tried to push it to its limits to live stream, and I think it barely do 720p, and it just tanked. It's just showing you the examples. Now, some other people have told me about Intel's new graphics card, which is not great for gaming, but it's good for encoding because it has this new core or a new rendering engine, a protocol or something like that. And I'm thinking about playing around getting one, and that's what this is right here. And wow, they dropped it down. It's $120. They said this is really, really good for encoding. So they're even talking about maybe adding one of these into your computer and not as a graphics card, but just using it as a encoder. So at that price, I might actually get one. The only thing is I don't have enough slots on my motherboard to use that because all of my other PCI slots, I have 10 gigabit cards in each one of my systems, and the graphics card that eats up all of my slots as well as my NVMEs. So I need to see. I do have another system. I don't know. We'll play around with that, but be on the lookout for that video because if y'all are having some streaming issues, at $120 just to add that to your computer, if you have a slot available, that might be able to help out some stuff as well. Miriam wants to know, have I used the Mac Mini M2? No, I have not. I have an M1. What do you think about vMix for live stream? I think it's great. That's what I'm using right now and what you're seeing right now. As long as you have a system that's paired with it, you should be good. I've built a couple of systems recently for vMix, and I mean, it works great. And it's a mindset change from going from OBS to this. Like personally, I want to have vMix add Signs and Wonders, but I'm still trying to get everybody acclimated with everything first before I try and make that move. And we would need to pay for the license because of all the inputs. It all depends. But I think it's great from it. Wish it was free, but it's not. So, William, who just became a member, still having issues with using a Mac Mini A10 Blackmagic camera Pro Presenter setup. We're having a lag drop issues. Unfortunately, we are restricted to only one ISP in our area. Any suggestions? Give me a suggestion. Now, when you're talking about your lagging, are you seeing the lag internally or are you seeing the lag on the output? Because if you're seeing the lag internally, that's just like we talked about before. That's the hardware that can't keep up. And we might want to add something else to help boost the power of what you're doing. Again, I have a Mac, I have an iPhone, so it's not about being a Apple hater. I'm just being honest. What you can get, just if you're just trying to do that streaming and stuff, you can get a PC that's more powerful and cheaper that can perform that there. But again, I understand people want to stay with the Apple environment and stuff like that. But when it comes to you wanting to have something stable that's going to keep giving you a good performance and stuff like that, if it's just running your presentation software or just your streaming stuff, does it really matter? Because once you're running the app, it performs exactly the same. That's just my personal opinion. So you are asking, how do you send OBS to Zoom? Once you set up everything in OBS, you're going to turn on the virtual camera in OBS. And in Zoom, now you'll see as your video source, it will say, instead of whatever camera, you'll have a new entry that says OBS virtual camera. That's what you pick as your video. That's how you do that. Daniel, you are sorry for my tardiness. No, go back to the corner. Put your head on the desk for 5 minutes. But he was also saying, AJ, I taught the session using your book and it was amazing. Awesome. Let me know how that went. I appreciate that. Hello. Thank you for stopping by. And again, folks, if you don't mind, please, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button. We got 63 people on with 31 likes. Again, it just helps the algorithm. Again, I'm saying this not just for me, but I need y'all to do that as well. Because I see y'all be surprised how many videos that I watch and I see y'all, because I don't believe in likes for likes and none of that nonsense. But I do have a bunch of y'all. I did actually a cleanup on my YouTube subscriptions. So I go through here and I see y'all stuff. So let me go back through subscriptions. And it's really disappointing, not on y'all's benefit, but y'all are doing so much stuff. But it's like here, Living Waters, Valley, Rogue Valley. Why am I mixing up my names? Chris Garcia, like I said, he is killing it. I go through and I see a lot of y'all's stuff, and it's sad that y'all don't have that much engagement. So that's why I'm just telling y'all, first, ask the congregation to do it. Like, make it a part of your service to be like, hey, folks, take out your phones, go ahead and hit like, or if you haven't hit subscribe, make that a part of your process, because that's where you help. If y'all don't know, let's do YouTube 101. YouTube, the videos that y'all watching right now, there's a couple of algorithms that are running right now looking at you and the type of videos that you watch, and it sees your history. So because of your history, it goes out, finds other people that have liked videos like you, and they suggest the videos that you like to them. The more people that you have in your ministry, and that's YouTube, Facebook, all of them, if you like more videos, the algorithms are getting more information about you and finding people like you that have liked videos like you, and they suggest your church video that you liked to them. That's organic growth. But then it does the reverse as well too, because you've watched this type of videos, they start suggesting more videos to you. The more people that you have liking your videos, the more organically you'll reach more people that are just looking for something, and YouTube will recommend your video to them. But if there's not engagement, there's not likes, there's not comments, the algorithm sees that, oh, it's not performing well, and it won't recommend it. So if you're doing all this work and you have nothing but 10 people watching it, this is the other stuff that you need to learn. You can get all the cameras, all the graphics, the sound, all that other stuff, but you're hitting a brick wall if you won't engage this other stuff. And that other stuff is taking a moment during announcements, before service starts, at the end of service, having your pastor, whoever, say it. Hey, folks, just make sure that you follow us, you like this, you comment, you share. Those are forms of engagement. Every form of engagement bumps up that video and has the algorithm say something good is going on here. Let me recommend it to other people. That's how y'all found me. So I'm telling y'all what most people won't tell you about YouTube. You want to have more influence? That's how. Don't be stupid. Don't buy likes. Don't buy followers, subs, and all that other stupid stuff, because that's actually against the terms of service, and you'll get your stuff banned for life if you did that. So there's a little YouTube stuff for you. Back to John. That roll top HSA desk that I got a steal of a deal on is a sort of part of the project. I did post pictures of the desk in my process of me stuffing it full of equipment on the Facebook group. Man, see, it's so much stuff there that y'all can get some ideas on the Facebook group. And I know some people asked me to do a video on Draw.io because I get so many people to ask me that. I've been meaning to do that, but I've been so busy. I'm going to try and do it this weekend for those, y'all. Tom here. Recently started playing around with OBS on my M1 Mac Studio. Really enjoy your channel to help me learn. Hey, I'm glad it has helped. Patrick, follow up for the live stream. Is it 1080p 30? I'm actually streaming at 1080p 60 because my pastor moves a lot. So I don't want that cinematic look. For me, 60 is fine for me. That's what I have it. Bruce is saying for the mission statement, yes, he has one. Awesome. Alex, I think I was kicked out of our Facebook group. I didn't know if I violated any rules, but I've always been disciplined when engaging on the group. I've noted over the past few weeks I have no access. Most likely, anytime anybody gets kicked out of the group, it's most likely somebody shared a live, and we're very strict on that. Like Mike is one of the Thor wielders here. So we drop Mjolnir anytime people doing some stuff. So Alex, send me an email and I will see about checking you out and getting you reinstated there. But again, this is more of the tough love type of stuff. Not saying that you were guilty of this. This is just in general. The reason why I have strict rules inside of Facebook on our Facebook group is like this. If you don't realize that you're streaming to the wrong group, you don't know your tools well enough. That's real talk, you know, because and I think I did a video about it or I never did it. It's like we need to learn how to share and use social media in an appropriate way instead of spamming people, because you're turning more people off. If like they're going to get mad, but I'm just going to be real because I've said it as well. Like we have some people that I'm friends with at my church, and they send message stuff to me every single day, and I mute them and I block them because I'm like, that's annoying. Like as much stuff as I do, bloop, God has blessed you. Hey, say amen. Have a good morning. That's great. Hey, good morning. God has blessed you. That's great. Like, dude, you're interrupting what I'm trying to do right now. Even if you had a good, like I said this to somebody else, if I made a beautiful chocolate cake for you, but I served it to you on a dirty plate, no matter how good the cake was, your delivery made me get turned off to your entire message. So if you keep bombarding people, that's spam. Even you can have the best word that God is giving you that will bless this whole land and just turn this whole country around, whatever country it is. But if you deliver it in a horrible way, people are missing it. So stop spamming people. You know, it's not about just let me just send it. No. There needs to be a strategy to how you do it. And I don't know where I came from that, but hopefully I don't know where that came from. Yeah, it's about knowing your tools and how to use it. Facebook, YouTube, whatever, is not just a telephone pole that you just throw up whatever. Rip one of these if you want to know Jesus. No, don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. You're missing the message and missing people from that. Hey, AJ, we are planning to start live streaming video, but at the moment we are only live streaming the audio part. We use OBS as a platform and PowerPoint for presentation. Please suggest. Well, suggestions on what? Like, are you looking for camera suggestions? You know, give me some direction so I can help you in that flow. Put your web solutions. Hello from New York City. What is a better Windows or Macs for ministry live streaming? Windows. Just being honest, because you can get the parts cheaper and more powerful for the price. In what part of New York? Or is it, well, sorry, New York City. I'm actually going to be in Queens next month. Rhonda, ATEM is connected to streaming laptop running OBS. Camera video shows fine on the multi-view. Okay, yeah, that sounds like that's OBS. Make sure that your USB powered. Windows did an update recently that even when you turn on, like tell it not to turn the monitor off and hard drives off and all this other stuff, it turns that right back on. So I've had that be an issue that the USB has gone to sleep. And that's what made me have to make a new source and all this other stuff in OBS. I haven't done that in a while. I'm on Windows 11 Pro, and that gave me more settings on this one, but I've noticed that on home. And that was actually this week. Jesse, what's going on? My Splendor. Please, how do you do Bible lower thirds with the AV Matrix 6-channel mixer? I am tired of trying many things. The AV Matrix 6, I am not familiar with that. Let me see. Let's check this out. That is this. Now, without me actually having hands-on, it's going to be hard for me to do that, but let's look at it. It does live streaming all in one. It has cut transitions, wipe, T-bar. It has chroma key. So just for that, how I'm assuming it would work, and you know what they say about assuming. It is the mother of all mess ups. That's from an old Steven Seagal movie. What you would need to do is just like in this, you would need to send it in reverse though. So you would send your live video to one of your inputs. Your scripture would have a green background, and then that goes over top of it. That's how you would do that. So can we do that real quick? Let's see if we can mock up something like that. Can we do it in Pro Presenter? I don't really, even though I have Pro Presenter, I don't really do that much with it. So let's actually try and do this a hands-on right now with it. So I'm going to use the ATEM, even though it's the same type of thing. All right. It's just we're just using straight chroma. And of course, Pro Presenter wants to put on the wrong screen. Let me make sure. And it's not doing my screens. Let me set up my screens first. That ain't it. That ain't it. There's my monitor. That's what I want to use. All right, so what we're going to do is say we want to do scripture. And let's just use this one. But I want to do this in a lower third format. So we're going to pick this in this format. But then what I want to do is actually add a background to this, because we want to simulate this. So there's the scripture that I had right there. And I need to have a green background. I don't think I have anything that's solid green. So let's just make one. Let's go to paint. Let's bring this over. We're going to, I need to do a size. Actually, let's not do it this way. Let's do Canva. That would be easier because I don't want to use any software like that. So I'm going to use desktop wallpaper because it's in the same resolution that I use my stuff in. We do it blank. I want the background to be pure green. And that is RGFF00. So that's pure green. Let's go ahead and download that. All right, so now let's bring that image in as a background. There we go. And so this is how we're sending stuff. So that's how it's coming across. So if I cut over to my shot, this is how that comes out. All right. So now that is, why is it rotating? I don't want, like, I don't understand. Program's going to be adding stuff that no one asked for. It did a rotating image that I didn't want. All right, so we're here. So it stays here. All right, so that is, we cut over. That's what is coming out. Now, with the ATEM, this is going to be the same thing that you would do on the matrix. So our main, because the one with the green is going to be over top. All right, and we're going to be replacing the green with our video coming from behind it. So our PC is the image. So if I switch to it real quick, that's what y'all see. All right. So that is going to be my source. And then we're going to do a chroma key. And what are we going to replace? That is this. That's that monitor. And that's what we're going to replace. That's what we're going to set on top of it. All right. So if I preview, I want to make sure I get the right green. And it is, because it's perfect green. That's what we're going to do. All right. So all I have to do is engage number 3, and that's it. So let's cut back over here. And then I'm just going to turn on number 3. And there you go. That is, it's erasing the green. Now, that's the same concept that you would have to do. See, my video is at the bottom. Whatever you're sending to your matrix, have it have that green background. You engage the chroma key. It layers it over top of it, and it erases the green, and that's why you're able to see me through it. Hopefully that helps. But again, I don't have that. So this is just, I don't have the actual device, so I can't tell you exactly what it is. But that's ultimately how that would work. So I hope that helps as best as possible. Neftali, what's going on? All right, and the web presenter is doing good. She's Destiny was saying, test the spotlight on Zoom at work. Thanks. You are welcome. Yes, I do. I have a video where I showed me transitioning Antioch to vMix, how I would do that. I've been meaning to do a video on my whole setup and how I do this Q&A. So that is a video coming in the future, but I do have a few going over vMix. Miriam would like to know, have you looked at the HoloLens Solidcom C1 Pro? No, I have not. I don't even know what that is, but let's look it up. HoloLens Solidcom C1. Oh, so a comm system. Okay. That's what that is. Let's see. Looks pretty slick. I like that it has all of it embedded in there. That's pretty cool. Now I'm wondering how does it connect? Like, what is it device that's connected? Because that's for charging the batteries. So that's DC power. That's the battery pack. But how does it connect? So it's got to be wired in some way. I'm just wondering, how does that connect to your source? And maybe they're just all built in and you just talk to each other. If so, I mean, that's pretty cool. I have to look into that. But thank you for that. See, there's so much tech out there. That's the beauty of the group, folks. Okay, I already did that question. Thank you so much. And I actually was watching your channel. You did a live stream a couple of days ago. I was watching that as well too. So I'll be stalking y'all and be watching y'all stuff. Oh, speaking of stalking, segue again. Thank you so much, Boxcast. They featured me on their first um season 3 of podcast, and we actually talked a whole lot longer than they put up on there. But again, it was really thankful to be a part of that. That was right here, church live streaming. Really thankful for them reaching out and asking to interview me. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, please do that. Not necessarily for me. I think some people watched it and they said they learned some more stuff about me. Um, so that's cool. But again, I just really like the fact that the purpose of me doing this was to open up the doors and get influence to where we can bring more attention to media and the body of Christ, the good attention. So really thankful about that. So thank you again, Boxcast for the podcast. Back to Daniel. AJ, you're a part of 2 churches, the PC and the Apple Church. I believe you are starting to like the Apple Church more. No, not at all. Now, I ain't going to lie, though. Some of the apps that I've had to use were more, they catered more to the iPhone, which I don't know. I don't know why, but I mean, it was cool. I mean, I'm like, I have this one set as my personal. And again, I don't let that many people know what this number is so I can have some peace. So now the other phone, if anybody calls me, I just don't answer. So that part is fun. I'm still trying to learn some of the stuff, like how to get to when people are calling me and my messages and my notifications and all this other stuff. But besides that, yeah. But nah, ain't a part of it. I'm just a guest. He was saying the Apple Church praise break is a steady 155 beats per minute in a church break. Nah. Back to Rhonda. Getting video from OBS to Zoom worked. I struggle with getting the audio to work. Also, when sending OBS to Zoom, does a stream to Facebook and YouTube still work? Yes, it does. You can stream through OBS and it will be at a higher res, but it will still send that signal to Zoom, and you can do something else with Zoom. So yes, you can do both at the same time. So just let y'all know, y'all don't have to keep posting the same question. Again, I'm kind of delayed behind y'all's comments, so I have responded already. Parker was asking about, does anybody play with Chat GTP? I haven't. Every time I sit down to want to play with it, something else comes up, but I want to get a mindset of how that works. My daily was wondering, what is the name of my book? It is called Modern Media Ministry Made Easy. And it is on Amazon. So if we cut over here, it is right there. Embracing technology, establishing a digital footprint, letting a message outlive you. So it's right there. Not a very long book, but some people have got some use out of it. And again, the next one is called Modern Media Ministry is Now Necessary. That is what we're working on. And let me give you a sneak peek of what we've got here. So some of the chapters, like I said, establishing the standard, that's what I read to you, a part of that. Developing. Now, this book is different. This is more of giving you guides on how to do some stuff. So this isn't one of those books that you read from beginning to end. It's find something that's applicable for your ministry at the given time. And it kind of gives you a guide of what steps to follow and the mindset and the purpose of doing stuff. So establishing a standard, building a media ministry team, establishing a footprint, developing a website, internet service, upgrading your congregation essential software every ministry needs, and it goes on how to do an online interactive Bible study, succession planning, generational synergy, stealing from my friend Jay Kyle, who wrote a book about that same topic. So these numbers are not accurate, but we got some other stuff that we're going through. And every step inside of this goes through this process where we review the issue, we get equipment, we develop training and strategies, we implement it, And we go through this circle twice every time we do something, so that once you put it in place, you review it again to see if any more revisions are done. And this is something that's recurring over and over again. So that's what this one is working on. And I've been working on it, and then we had a lot of stuff that got delayed, and then focus got changed and taking the book in a different direction. But that's what that one is working on. And I think that one is going to be 200 some odd pages, something like that, maybe more. I don't know. Most of the time I sit down and I don't have nothing. That's probably what I'm going to be doing as well too. I don't want to take my laptop with me on the cruise, but I probably will. That's how this first book was. I sat down in 2 days and just wrote that first book out. John, I didn't realize you have a Thor hammer. AJ, you need to bring Neptune's Trident on the cruise. Oh, the hammer must have worked on me just well. My apologies. Nah, you're good. You're good. All right, you're in Money Making Manhattan. The church has an iMac and having problems with audio reverb. Are you using OBS? Most likely, if you're getting the audio reverb, it's capturing audio twice. Let's see. Please suggest a camera and presentation tools that we may use to be more efficient. I would say start off with Presenter by Worship Tools because it's free. That would give you a good presentation. That would give you scripture, lower thirds, graphics, presentations of any type, and it's free. As long as you have an internet connection, it's free. And your camera, it all depends. If you really want a PTZ that would give you fluid motion and you're not having somebody on a tripod or something like that, you can go with the AVCans, one that I recently reviewed. That one goes for like $450, and it is a great camera. That was actually Gates of Faith when I was talking about where Bishop Nicholson had just passed. They actually bought that from me, and it's really, really. Actually, let me go to their church, and y'all can see just the difference in the quality of what they've done. So here's Gates of Faith. Let me see their most recent one. I need to do a Sunday service. So this is that's J. Kyle, that's my niece, that's my sister, and that is a BZ. I forgot the camera. That was the one that blessed his house. I actually gave them with that. So that is that camera right there. So that is my brother-in-law coming up. So they're using Presenter. That goes from there. Thank you for subscribing. I actually mixed that up. They actually became a member. So I'm sorry, the person before that. So they're using Presenter here. They were using MediaShout for a while, and they've been using this for years, and they're really happy. So this is that camera that we installed actually about 2 weeks ago. And that is that same camera that is not the NDI version. It's actually this one. This is the one without NDI, and that's the 459. You can get that and then get yourself a cheap joystick, or kind of like this one that I've been using now, an IP one. You can get one that you run a RS-232 cable directly to it, and you can get a joystick for like $200, something like that. That could work with a wall mount for another $20. It all depends. It's kind of hard for me to really gauge what I would recommend. Me personally, I know some people are against PTZs. I use PTZs mainly just because that we don't have a lot of people. So we want to be able to have like originally at Antioch, I used to have 7 people in the media ministry. Then COVID hit and all that stuff shrunk down to where it was like maybe 2 or 3 on a good day. And we just couldn't man all the cameras. The PTZs allows us to have, when we used to have manned people on 5 cameras, we can simulate the same thing with 2. That's why I personally like them. Travis, is there any ways to get a good live stream mic with analog mixers? The 2-channel interface is what I'm using, but the sound is still not balanced and just raw. Well, what type of mixer are you using? Because I know I've used GTD audio. I just moved my pastor to a Shure headset one, but the one they originally used was a dual pack. But I think it's more like a configuration that can help with that. Question here. What do you think is better, Pro Presenter or Easy Worship? Personally, Pro Presenter. We started with Easy Worship at Antioch, then we moved to Pro Presenter. And if I had known better, because they still use Pro Presenter, they're still on version 6. They haven't upgraded at all. Based on if I knew what I knew now, I would have never gone to Pro Presenter for them because they're not using all that functionality. I would have just let them be on Presenter by Worship Tools, and then they would have been fine. But in those two, Pro Presenter gives way more features in the price that you may not be using now, but if you ever decided to, they're there compared to what Easy Worship has. Adam Jones, I see you in your uniform. Thank you for your service. Love the videos. I have purchased a Canon DSLR and was thinking about sending it back and purchasing a camcorder. I just want to stream our sermons only onto Zoom and YouTube. I've heard the camera versus DSLR reviews. Just wanted to hear your opinion. I personally do not want to use a DSLR. Does the image quality look better? Yes. DSLRs, even though they shoot video, were not meant for long form content. Like even this camera. This was made by Sony for vloggers. So I use this, but this thing does not last long. I can, if I try to, and some of y'all have been on stuff where this has died. And you should, I used to be able to hook this up and it will trickle charge over USB and it never died. If you can get a DSLR that has like a dummy battery pack and is plugged into a constant supply, that's one thing. Another thing, this and other DSLRs, they overheat. So they have to shut down for that. Camcorders and PTZs and those other cameras, they are made for long form content and being outside and other stuff like that. That's mainly the reason why I like camcorders when I started out, because they were made for long form content. So that's my opinion personally of that. Back to my Splendor. Wow, thanks, bro. It did help. Try it right now. Oh, wait. Awesome. Have I tried Proclaim? Yes, I have. But still, out of all of them, I still like Pro Presenter more than that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, we had a whole bunch of technical issues before that whole thing started. So even with them, there's technical issues are going to happen. So for those who are not a part of media ministry, no, it doesn't work perfectly all the time. If you're a part of the media ministry, you would know that. Jerry, if we use Presenter instead of PowerPoint, with all the screen changes, would we need a second person? No, you wouldn't. If you're doing it the same way that you're doing PowerPoint, it will work the exact same way. It just gives you more functionality, and it has a Bible built in as well. If you've made everything in PowerPoint, you can import what you've had into Presenter, and then you can still use that while you're developing new stuff if you want to. It's a transitionary tool that I personally think. All right, Philip Paul, thank you so much for stopping by. Daniel, I highly doubt that. I really highly doubt that, especially with the fact that, I mean, I'm going to be on the road pretty much all the way up to the cruise. And then literally when we get off the cruise that next Friday, I'm on the road again. So I don't know. I'm going to try and do as best as I can with that. Brian was saying OnePlus for the AVCams 30X bundle. Nice picture and very smooth controller. Yeah, I actually got two of those. I actually got a bundle that's going to a church, and they actually got I got them the two 30X, but then also added another third one on there. But yeah, really good. Daniel wants to know, what is the right height for a PTZ install? I don't really know. Give you an exact number, but the main thing for me is this is just me. I put it high enough so that somebody can't jump and smack it like they think they're, smacking the wall. You know how kids would be. I used to do the same thing, just always jump and try and hit something. I try and put it there, but at the same time, I don't want it so high that when I zoom in on the pulpit, it looks like, if I can do it here, that it looks like this, like it's looking down. I want it to be like by the time it zooms in, it's at head level and it looks decent. That's just how I do it. So for the most part, it's been like 8-10 feet. That's where it's been for me. But I've really never measured like that. I normally just put it up there, zoom in to see how it works, and then go from there. The new harvest. Big shout out to you, AJ, for the consistency over the years. Blessings, brother. May God continue to bless you above all that you ask and think. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that. The image quality from my camera looks good on the multi-view, but doesn't look as good on YouTube and OBS. Any particular reason? I would say check your video bitrate, how much data is going into your video. If you do anything like under 25, once you get under like 15, that's when it's really gonna start getting really, really, really grainy. And maybe I'll do a video on that just to show you what different bit rates show. I think I might do that. Hopefully that would help. And we've been going for a minute, folks. So again, thank you so much for everybody here. If you haven't, well, we have done that. So thank you so much for the likes and subscribes and everything like that. All the people who sent comments, everything like that. And just like some people have done, we just got somebody new. So obviously they're not in this, but I want to give a big shout out to all my Patreon supporters and YouTube members. Some of y'all have been supporting me for over 3 years, and thank you so much. You too can become a patron or a YouTube member for as little as $1 a month on Patreon, or I forgot how much it is actually on YouTube. They limit where I put it at, but I give benefits to there to where we give access to the recordings of our roundtables after the fact. You get entered twice onto our giveaways when we do that, and that's running extra long. I might have posted it twice, but again, thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to the people who are coming with the cruise. And again, it's not too late for y'all to get on there. Everything is in the Facebook group for information if you want to be a part of it. We got it at discounted prices, folks. So like me, I have a balcony room. And on that, let me take a second. Let's see if we can show you just what everything is going to be. And I'm going to put it out there because I want to see, we're going to set up something for next year as well too. So all right, I'm signed out. So let's see exactly how much this is going to be. And just let you know, from Richmond, my flights, round trip flights, were $130. So not super expensive. We're going to Fort Lauderdale, and it is in April. So let's search for some cruises. This is the Liberty of the Seas right here. So typically right here, this is, if I went with a balcony, it is $742 per, actually let's do for the exact same. Ooh, Lord. So this is the day that we're going. So at this price, it is, hold on, let me go through the whole process. Staterooms, that would be one person, 2 people in a room. So at this price for a balcony, it is $1,444 per person. So you have to pay that twice for this. The discount prices that we got for the balcony was $1,000 for 2 people. So, I mean, it was a heck of a deal. And I'm gonna show it real quick. The information on here. So if you've never been on a cruise, and if you've never been on a cruise with me, yeah, so I'm sorry, I misquoted it. So an ocean view was, for 2 people, was $1,180. So that's less than half than what it cost now. And hey, information is there. I'm gonna leave it up for a little bit, but there's still plenty of time. I think they're still honoring this. But again, if you miss it, folks, everybody who's going, y'all know we're gonna have a video. We're gonna be introducing everybody and stuff like that, and we're gonna be looking for next year as well too, because I think let's go back to the home page. I'm gonna look at some different days, but I think next time around we're gonna be doing the I haven't done the Wonder of the Seas. I might do this one, or we're gonna do the Oasis class. I've been on all three of theirs there, so we might try something like that. And it's gonna be for the same amount of time. Might be a 5-day, so that we have enough time to get back for service. But anyway, really excited about it. I wanted to have something that's ongoing. We are looking at bringing back the emissionary conference as well. But again, we just got so much stuff going on. Looking at bringing on some people so I can take a lot of the stuff off my plate so we can reach and do more as well too. So anyway, folks, if nobody's ever told you, thank you for everything that you're doing. You might not be told thank you. You do a lot of work that you're probably not even getting paid for doing this stuff, but I want to thank you for what you're doing. I'm not a part of your ministry, but guess what? You're a part of the body just like me, and what you're doing, I'm benefiting from. What I'm doing, you're benefiting from, because it's not about you or me reaching everybody. It's about us reaching everybody. And I hope what I do helps your journey become a little bit easier. I hope y'all have a great day, evening, afternoon, wherever you are on the face of this planet. And we'll be seeing y'all on the next video. And it is a roundtable this Sunday, I believe. Or was it next week? I can't remember. I think it is one. But anyway, if it's on a roundtable, all that information is on the Facebook group. So we'll be talking to y'all later, folks. Later.